Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse. Today, Friday, October 17th, 2025. Now, we're covering two trials at once, and we're juggling them. We're going to begin with the Crypto Bros trial, U.S. versus Peraire-Bueno. Why? Because yesterday the testimony continued with the man from Flashbots, and we came to understand more about what had happened. He, of course, designs this software called MEV-Boost. MEV-Boost, which allows the construction of blocks to be put on the chain, allowing some profit to be made by the validator. But of course, these guys figured it out. We actually were up in the courtroom yesterday. We have some court art. We're moving along with this case. There will be a book. We did one on Do Kwon, who didn't go to trial. We did one on FDF, who did. And this one has gone to trial, and it's going all the way. So essentially, the sandwich bots, we're going to eventually hear one of the victims, but the sandwich bots put their sandwich breads around a trade and suck all the juice out of it. But these guys came and kicked out one piece of bread and took all the juice. Now, no honor among thieves, but the guy from Flashbots, I think he was against, this is my take, he was against James and Anton Peraire-Bueno because they're kind of hot shots, because they're kind of, he was like, it's very disappointing. They had such a future. I don't really know much, but, so I feel like there's kind of some resentment on the part of Mr. Miller of Flashbots. I think it's possible. And so that's my take. We're heading in now for there's going to be a guy called Chen who used to work with the brothers and who initially said they didn't do anything wrong, but now flipped and has a non-prosecution agreement. Good for him. We'll see how it goes. Now, we had the closing arguments yesterday, very troubling, in the U.S. versus BNP Paribas for Sudan genocide assistance trial. Barry Burke defending BNP, in closing, repeated what he'd said in the defense case, which is that Sudan's a violent place. It was violent before BNP and still violent now. So how are you going to hold BNP? But the thing is that the evidence shows that BNP really knew. They were really cynical. I think they're going to be, if they lose, which they may as early as today, it's going to be because they wrote emails saying like, we're paying $60 million a month to Bashir. We got to, and they doctored how it looked. I don't think there's any getting around from that, but we'll have to see. It's a big human rights case, and we've covered it in great detail and have a book ready to roll as soon as the verdict comes out, basically. Because, and here I'll transition, because the United Nations was invoked yesterday in closing. Just as we've said in preparing this book, Barry Burke said, how was BNP to know that it wasn't legit when the UN was there? It's worse than he knows. In fact, the UN was not only there. El Fasher, currently surrounded by RSF, once had a king, and his name was Gambari. The UN's head of UNAMID sat in an enormous mansion in El Fasher, the Pasha of El Fasher, on a huge, fluffy pillow. And I went on a trip covering the Security Council and ran pictures of him on his pillows that staff gave, and he was extremely mad because it's incredible. The UN also met the guy called Mr. Hervé Latsus, the head of UN peacekeeping, met with indicted war criminals. Now, you can believe or not believe in the ICC, but they lied about it. They said they didn't do it. Gambari went to the wedding of the daughter of Musa Hilal, indicted by the ICC. The UN undermined and corrupted not just sanctions, but their own supposed principles. And it's because they're hypocritical and corrupt. And when you report on it, they throw you out. So it's just what everyone's complaining about, but they just have a blind spot for the UN. There was, Eric Adams has appointed a head of crypto and digital assets. People don't seem to like him, Mr. Rendon. But we'll have more on that. If this is the last vlog of the week, have a good weekend.